Greetings, nerds, geeks, and gamers of the third kind. Nate the Nerdarch here from Nerdarchy, for nerds by nerds. When we left off, I was playing some No Man's Sky, Space Engineers, all kinds of stuff, and I came upon a game in my off time when I surfed the internet for sci-fi stuff and RPG things, on a survival game similar to No Man's Sky, but also similar to Space Engineers. Rather than the game coming up with all the ships you could purchase and play with and the items you could use, this game is more like Space Engineers, that you can create the items. So these are all created items. These are not randomly procedurally generated, and there's physics like with Space Engineers. So the planets are procedurally generated and things in them are procedurally generated. And also, it's pretty neat. Something that I thought was cool. Like, these are just some of the things and terrains and ruins. But another thing that I thought was really cool was... Oh, did they have it here? Alright, similar to No Man's Sky, you can fly around. And similar to No Man's Sky, you start off at a crash landing site. It's kind of like a classic restart for a person. Regardless of what their past was, they're now a survivor of a crash landing. So you have dehydration, you have health, you have food, and you have stamina. And they're kind of dynamic because they affect each other. So you know how in D&D, if you have one hit point, you can still fight at full strength. But in this game, if your dehydration is low, it's going to affect how your stamina works. And so on, from what I understand. And as you can see, this is kind of, alien planet crash landing, and he's already got a threat to deal with. So rather than go through their whole video, you also have other aspects. So one of them is building. Now, seen here, you can take something apart. Similarly, you can weld stuff. So similar to Space Engineers, you can just deconstruct and reconstruct and construct objects. And you see that it's kind of a little more detailed than Space Engineer. I feel like Space Engineer is more like blocky than this. This is more like high res. I mean, you can see just from the internal cockpit, stuff actually means things. And you can see from that driving that that's using physics based on what it hits. And then you have your suspension and everything within the actual vehicle. And here's some mining, very similar to Space Engineer. And again, you can build a ship that mines or an object that mines rather than just you mining. And they also have things with radiation. So they have a lot of dynamic hazards as well, from what I understand. And different zones and planets as well. Now, unlike the whole Star Wars thing, and unlike what I would say No Man's Sky goes on after, if you have a planet... No Man's Sky has like a temperature change, but it has it for storms, and it has it for day and night cycles. And also, I think the waters are different temperatures. And they also have acidity and other things like that. But with this, see, there's a crash landing ship just happening, random event happening during the time that you're playing the game. So another thing with this game that looks like it's going to be really great is that you can build your own ships. You can go. The idea is you want to eventually get off the planet that you're on, but you need to survive long enough to gather the resources to get off planet. So there's a lot of like, feels like it's a mashup of Minecraft, Space Engineers, and No Man's Sky all together and bound up. Another interesting thing I heard about it was that it's going to have like a dynamic AI. So if you're low on health, you know how wolves in real life, you can kind of perceive that they would attack the easiest prey. So there's wildlife, but then there's also you. So it has the choice between attacking you at full strength with a gun in your hands, or you after you fell down in a ravine on accident and you're really, really hurt. Well, it's going to choose to attack you when you're really, really hurt, really, really tired, really, really hungry, not when you're at your full capacity, ready to shoot its face off. So from what I understand, they want to develop the AI to be kind of it adjusts to situations. But again, I haven't played the game. This is just going on what they say they want to develop, and sometimes it doesn't make it into the end. and I'll play the pre-order tomorrow. As you can see, the countdown. I'm recording this. It's got 1 day and 3 hours. You can buy the. It's a bit expensive for the alpha, but they've already kickstarted it, and they've already got basically a game ready. As far as I'm concerned, they just need to work out bugs. And I will play a game that needs to work out bugs. I'm fine with that. I'm not fine with paying for a game and then never getting it. Now, while I say game, it's not a complete game. It's in the alpha, and it's not a complete game with bugs. They're still working out things for it, so it's not a complete game at all. All right, so this is Planet Nomad. This is the kind of like creation station. It's where you can kind of see, like, get used to building before you even are in the game. And as you can see, here's a few of the. This is a buggy that's got some guns on it, so you could probably zip around, blow some stuff up, and we can kind of zoom into the cockpit here. And I'm going to get rid of the thing in my hand so we can see. So you can see it's all stationary. Nothing's telling me. I think it says it's going 55 miles an hour, or that's the charge. So it tells you what's on, what's not on, and I think that's also the axis. So we go in here, and it's got all the different components, similar to Space Engineer. And this is probably an area that's going to be kind of whatever you want to build it. Cargo, extra ammo, whatever you kind of use the dune buggy for. And this is the the engineering of it, the tanks and the ports going to different areas. So this is just a small, tiny cockpit for one setup, and you can do all kinds of things to it. I could add a gun to the top if I wanted to tank it up there, so I could add it to over here. There we go. And I could also add it to over here. There. So if I wanted extra firepower, or I could put one in the front, whatever I deem appropriate based on my design, I could technically just alter this and have it ready to go. Now that's not going to happen in the actual. Oh, you can also delete things. Boom, 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 boom. Now I'm not going to save this. I'm going to go out, and I'm going to actually do what I need to do. Back to menu. So I just wanted to look at what's available based on design. So we have a lot of batteries here. We've got a lot of generators. Get rid of that number. So it has that same kind of concept. You get fuel, storage, batteries. We have the suspension, and then you can just kind of design it how you'd like. You can put lights on it. There's plenty of guns here. I think these are. I want to say they're. Well, let's look. Weapons. Missile launchers. I thought it was missile launchers. And here's a turret missile launcher with plenty of batteries. And if we go, here's a door back here. And there's also a door back here. Now you think about this doesn't look that big. But it is a fully operational, like, walk in, go around, be able to work on things in here, repair things or replace things. So you can hop in the cockpit. Now, not too good for being able to see much, but aside from the lack of view, this is more for probably killing whatever is in front of you. So this would probably be useful on a planet where you really need to blow up something that's gonna harass you. While there's probably planets with plenty of small creatures. But I guess if you had to kill a dinosaur-sized thing, you would use this. And here we go. Here we go to the even larger setup. For some serious destruction. Except I think it's just for show. I don't. Okay. So this is just really just a build. I mean, I guess you would replace that with missile turrets or whatever you'd really want to do it with. You could probably also stick the missile turrets right there and not have this big cannon piece here. Well, let's go take a peek inside and what is actually going on in the internal workings of this sucker. Space Ghost. Yeah, so we go in and there isn't... There we go, here's the control room. Now, you know how in Space Engineers they have cameras, but I'm not seeing... Is there a camera out front here? That doesn't look like a camera to me. You know what? I think perhaps this is just... well, maybe you can do... third person. That would work. But let's see if we can find a camera in the blocks up at the top here. Don't see anything. Alright, I think this is just to show the scale of size that you can build. Because I'm not seeing a camera. Maybe you can do third person view? Maybe not. I'm not sure. So there is a bigger vehicle, so I wonder what it uses if it doesn't use the massive one. Oh, no, that's the big vehicle. And then we've got the planetary outpost. So this is for the survivor who has been doing well for himself. I guess this is probably a beacon for northwest, south, east. And I'm going to change the terrain up a little bit. I like this better for kind of like the desert outpost look. Now, as you can see, the piping can get pretty crazy, but I mean, I've worked in an industry before. This is nothing for pipes. So it can get pretty crazy. What's in here? This is a pretty big door. Well, you can see out of it. Is it a turret tower or? Ooh, I can't tell if I'm up or down. So we've got solar cell array there, and again control things and battery supplies. And in here it looks like more batteries and storage, and also it looks like a mechanism for being able to access storage and generators and such. And here we have more solar cells and some defense. It looks like we would consider that the threat is coming from, well, oh, it's good, good. Multiple towers, different heights, different directions. So this is just a design to showcase what is possible as a base. I mean, there's nothing crazy here. As you can see, they didn't build any ships. So they haven't done anything with the rockets or anything like that for these builds. And if you notice, let's see, for mobility, they also don't have anything except a thruster. Now, I haven't found out, I'll have to do some more research. I haven't found out if they're going to take air physics into effect. For example, do you have glide, or do you have like lift off based on design of wings? So if you have a wing and you use thrusters, but they do have propeller blades, so I'm thinking that it's going to be more like a vertical takeoff and landing kind of vehicle. Well, like, you know, the smallest thing would be a drone, can vertically take off, but an object that you can rotate the blades to move forward with them, or gyroscopically alter, you know, the direction that you face or the tilt that you face, so that you can start traveling forwards. But anyway, as a general gist of the setup, it's like I said, a little bit more realistic looking than Space Engineers, a little more clean and like clean cut, and feels like the graphics are crisper. I mean, I play Space Engineers on this computer, so unless this is like super max ridiculous settings, I don't see if the gameplay can use this. Then I think that's great, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of it. So this is Planet Nomads as it stands right now. Let me know what you think about the general design, what looks like it's possible, the kind of like the mashup of Minecraft, Space Engineers, and No Man's Sky that they're shooting for. And while you're at it, let me know what you think about the video in general in the comments below, as well as by hitting that like button. If you haven't subscribed already, be sure to subscribe. So until next time, stay nerdy.